Hello everyone, today is April 25th and I will be going over my trades for the day. As always, please like, subscribe, comment any questions or anything else you want me to go over or explanations you want me to give. So today I was looking at Apple, Microsoft coming into the pre-market. I noticed in Apple we were opening right about where we closed uh, last Friday. Today is Monday. Um, pre-market was down pretty big at one point. I think it was down like 200 points. The Dow was, and then it came back up to around 100 at open. And you can see here, Apple opened just below where we closed. So the first trade I took on Apple was on the fourth bar of the day. So I took this bar pretty much immediately as it opened. I really wise because we had this push down, and then we had this following pull up. And this bar, was full at one point, all the way up here, just below 161. And I don't know, I just got the inclination that this bar should stay full if we're going to get, a further move up back into this 20 and maybe even go higher. So once this bar really showed me the hesitation and we couldn't get the close over the prior wick, which, when we're 3 bars, 4 bars into the day, the only real structure we have is this wick at this point. So I took this bar right at open and I ran it. My first price target was 160, so I took off half of 160. Took off half of half at this double bottom. I actually kind of nailed it. 159.22 was the fill I got, so I was real close to the bottom of that wick. And then I got stopped out of the rest of it at 159.67. So on this bar, when we just came up with like that, noticing a little bit of a double bottom pattern coming into the market, so took my profits. I then I then went and I traded Microsoft, but I'll go over my second trade in Apple. My second trade in Apple, what I noticed was I always forget the brushes. We have bottom, double bottom, triple bottom. So once this triple bottom came in here on this, I was waiting for a confirmation move to the upside, and we had distance from the 20 moving average, so I definitely wanted to see a move back into the 20, which ultimately we did get. So I took this 948 candle when this wick actually went from being red, a fully red candle, to being a green candle. So my fill was 159.86. So right below VWAP is where I got filled, this purple line. And I took off half at two set. Nope, no, that's Microsoft. I took off all at 160.66. So my goal was here as I was looking for. Actually, I do not know whether it was this red candle or this green candle. I took her off. It's on. But either way, I was looking for a move back to the 20, and also you can see, this 160.75 region is also, the top of this wick where we couldn't get any follow through to the upside. So that was the two trades I took in Apple. Both relatively easy, quick trades. This was, I think I got filled on this bar because I think I was happy because when this turned into a hammer candle to the downside, I was happy I was out, thinking we were going to get another flush into this bottom and probably go lower at this point, but we didn't. But now I'll go over my Microsoft trades of the day. So Microsoft, just like Apple, we opened right about, let's see, the opening was here, 273.24, and we closed, 75 cents down from where we closed, but on Microsoft, 75 cents ain't much. So what I did is I took this short on this candle here, is 944. I took it once we engulfed the previous candle here, because what I was looking at, similar to Apple, we had this move down, got this high here right at the open, came down, touched VWAP, came in, and pretty much did a double top there. So I was looking for a move back down because I just felt that we needed a pullback from this big move, this big bar here, and we weren't getting continuation to the upside. And especially when we didn't get the continuation on this bar, I was like, all right, we're gonna get some type of pullback. But when we didn't get a continuation on the double top, that when this bar didn't close up here and we failed to go higher and failed to go through this 20, that was when I was looking for this short. So my fill here was 273.17. So right there, and I ran this down to 272.67 was my first price target, so VWAP. And my second scale out was 272.51, and oh no, that's when I scaled out the rest of it. So that was, so what we see, we get this move down into about 50% of this bar, and let's say 50% of this bar is probably right around here. Get a little pause bar, hopefully looking for a little bit of a GBI setup, come right back into this double bottom, but when this bar got continuation of the upside, that's when I took off the remaining 100 shares there. I had one more trade on Microsoft, and this was rather late in the day. This was only like an hour ago, actually. Right here. So I was actually looking at this on the 5. I'll set this up side by side, actually. All right, so it's clear on the 2 minute. I had it on the 2 minute, but the initial what I was looking for was on the 5. So I started watching Microsoft when this bar was forming. Right here, this would be 246 bar. I noticed that we had gotten a nice push. We'd put it in a higher low here, and we got a nice push up. And on the 2 minute, obviously, you're not seeing the 5 minute moving average, but I noticed on the 5 minute that we had this moving average right here around 279.20. So I watched this bar form, on the 5, that's a beautiful bar. Into the 200, we should be getting continuation, a nice full bar, powerful bar there. We should get continuation to the upside. We got a little bit of movement over. We actually put a 5 minute bar that closed over the 2 minute, but ultimately I wasn't really happy with, uh, you know, this move to the upside. I really thought this should have gotten more continuation. But at the same time, we got to keep in mind that we're coming into the 205. We got distance from the 20 on the 2 minute, and as well on the 5 minute, we have distance from both the 8 and the 20. So I took this entry here on this 256 bar because we tried to push higher here, couldn't get that hold, and immediately rejected off. Rejected in this 200 moving average area. Got some continuation, so I took this bar here looking for a move back to the 20. I had my stop loss above, so if we put in a new high, I would have been out. So I was risking. I got in at. I don't have it on my notes. I believe I got in at 279.90 or 278.93. So I was risking roughly about 40 cents on 200 shares, so $80. I was risking $80 there. And I took all off when we got to the 200. And what I was looking at there is we have pivot level here, 200. So that was my reason for exiting. Ultimately, we did get a nice gift entry, push back up, can't get continuation, rejects, turns into a bearish bar, closes below the 20, and we get that flush down all the way back down to this region here where you can see once again, we have demand. So that's the trades I took. If you have any questions, I'll leave them in the comments. We're looking to do the same thing tomorrow. Let's see how we're closing. We actually are pushing higher. Okay. Let's see how SPY is doing. SPY likewise coming into this 200 here. So on the daily we got one candle flushing below, but actually gonna end up green on the day, coming back into this golden pocket on the daily charts. Let's take a look at the tech sector. Alright, so tech is really pushing here. I mean, it makes sense. Let's see, where can we expect this to run to? So I'll be looking for a move up into this 335 area. If we can break that, be looking for a move to 338. Can't break either of these levels, we're going to see a little bit of a flush down. I'd be surprised if there's more blood in the market, but you never know. Because we have this drastic move down, pull up into the 50% fib, probably get some consolidation, come back into the golden pocket potentially, and go higher. Or it's going to do this, and instead of going higher, we're just going to roll back into this and maybe set a double bottom before we go higher. Those are my predictions for the market. Alrighty, I will be back tomorrow.